cold turkey. You know, I stopped. I'm gonna say on my own. I'm gonna say with God because I used to pray and ask God to tell Him I'm tired. Please remove this from my life. You know, and He did, and He did. But the thing that I didn't realize is that once He removed that drug, I had to remove those people, places, and things from my life. You know, and I really wasn't ready to do that.
That's right.
You know, I wanted to stick my chest out and for one, it was only through God's grace and mercy that I made it that far. And I wanted to stick my chest out and go back in them streets and say, look at me. You know, and not knowing about humility. You know, forgetting who done this for me. I didn't do it, God did it for me. You know, and like I say, I just wasn't ready to give up those people, those places, and some of the things, you know. So I continued for years and years, and it led me down a road where I did things that I wasn't proud of. You know, robbing, going to stores, stealing. You know, only through God's grace and mercy, I'm not gonna say I didn't harm you, because if I take something from you, I harm you. You know. But only through His mercy, His grace and mercy, I've never killed anyone, you know, or physically hurt anyone. And I thank Him for that. You know, but it led me to be homeless. You know, I mean, I got clean a few times, and God restored everything that I lost. You know what I'm saying? And my spirituality, you know, which was most important to me, my spirituality. And because I knew with my spirituality, once I got clean, I knew where it was going to lead me. It was going to direct me right back to God. That's what it was doing. You know, that's where it come from God. Then I went to the streets, and then He got me clean, and then I went right back to God. And now I want to talk about a guy that used to come down, drive past the block that I used to be on. And I'm sorry, if I'm taking too long, let me know. Okay. And it was this brother, I'm standing in the block, that way. I feel comfortable standing up. I sit down right for sleep. And I'm going to take you to, let me say this too, and I'm not proud of. I sold drugs. You know. But that wasn't in my addiction, because a monkey can't sell bananas. Anybody know that? You know, talking about when I got clean. It was, like I said, you know, people changing, people, places, and things. I had to, when I got clean, I wasn't ready to give up that life of driving, you know, luxury cars and you know, having money and the things that come with that life, I'll say. But anyway, I met this brother. Let me get back to it. I met this brother, and he used to ride past, and he would say, "Are you tired yet?" And I would look at him, and I would say, "No, I'm not tired yet." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Well, I'll see you later." And maybe, I don't know, every now and then he'll drive back through there. And one day he said, he came through and he said, "Hey brother," he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name is Kenny." And he said, "Okay." He said, "My name is Trader." And he said, well, I can speak his name because I'm not breaking his anonymity because he's dead. He died. He said, "My name is Trader." And he said, "Are you tired yet?" And I said, "Not yet." So he said, "Okay, well, let's go back out there and get you some more pain, and I'll see you next time." So I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get to the point. And the next time I see him, he said, "Brother, are you tired yet?" And I said, "Yeah, yes." And he said, How do you know you're tired?" And I said, "Because I'm willing to do anything it takes to get clean and stay clean." He said, "So basically what you're saying, you surrender." And I said, "Yeah, I surrender." And at that time, I had my daughter's auntie was already in my mother's house, and she was in the process of calling treatment facilities for me a room. And my brother, he ended up being my best friend, and he knew my mother, so he came in the house, and they all got to talking because they are all three of them, her husband, and my buddy Draper, my friend Draper, and when Lori told him, she said, "Yeah, we got a bed for him if you willing to go." And I said, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready," because I realized one thing. I realized that it was a fixed fight, and the only way to win a fixed fight is you got to surrender. You got to surrender to God. You know, and once you surrender, that's when you gain power. You know, and that's what I did. And then I started going to meetings. I started to meet different people, you know, in the meetings, and they said, "Well, you need to get you a sponsor, somebody who can walk you through, you know, how to live it one day at a time, you know, and basically the basic text they call it." And I said, "Okay," so they said, "Don't pick anybody. Don't pick anybody because, you know, everybody didn't come in here to change." Okay. Anyway, I just want to say thank you all for listening, and I thank God for His mercy and His grace, and I thank Jesus, you know, because one thing I know, the only way to God is through Jesus.
All right. Thank you, sir. Right before the next one come up, I want to talk about, I want to deal quickly with the mental health in the Black community. Right now, we make up about a little over 13.4% of the United States population. Out of that population, only 27% of those actually acknowledge and seek help, we got to fix this thing. Out of that, only 13%, out of that, only 27% seek help or acknowledge or address that they have a mental condition. Many don't understand, as the brother said, many do not understand that a mental illness, a mental condition contributes and leads to different things such as substance abuse. And untreated, and I believe the counselors that's coming third Sunday are talking about it, an untreated adolescent normally turns into an untreated adult. Which means that if you do not deal with your mental condition when you are a child, or your parents don't deal with it, normally it gets worse as you grow older. Amen. Brother, you're going to have to do something with this mic. We gotta fix this. We, in the black community, I want to share this too. According to the most recent study, the black teenagers have become more liable to attempt suicide than any other race. As a matter of fact, it's a 9.8% of black teens that will try to commit suicide. That is not okay. So when you do that and you're dealing with numbers, about 45 million people in the United States are black. Out of that, you are looking at probably about 15 million people who are walking around untreated with mental health conditions. And because they are going around with mental health conditions that are untreated and undiagnosed, what happens? They pick up guns. They pick up narcotics. They pick up things. And here's the problem with that. They have no ideal and control over what they are doing. The state of Illinois shut down almost all of their mental institutions where they were housing. You don't have to tell me if I'm right or wrong. My mother used to work at one out in Tinley Park. They defunded the programs for the mental health conditions, leaving them to function in a world they know nothing about. It's a lot of them right here in the church. They in the pulpit, they in the choir stand, they're on the usher board. And so it's impossible for us to deal with substance abuse without dealing with the mental capacity of it. Let me tell you, those who have to have coffee to function, you have a coffee addiction. If your brain tells you need some form of sugar to make it throughout the day, you have a sugar addiction. If something in your mind tells you that you need a Pepsi at least once a day, you have a pop addiction. Every addiction starts with the mind. I don't know if y'all heard what he said. One is too many, 1,000 is not enough. I want to explain that to you. Mentally, you can get something one time, and that one time will mess you up. That's the one too many. But once you have gotten it, 1,000 is not enough because you keep doing it over and over. Even sexuality starts with the mental. We allow society to dictate to our mental what God has already said about us. If God sent you here with the reproductive system of a male, he did not intend for you to be a female. And if you don't get help mentally, you can come in every prayer line you want to come in. You got to be made whole mentally. Let me tell you, mental health starts at home. It starts with the parents. Parents, if you're not whole and healed mentally, how can you help your children? We'll talk about that more on that Sunday, because we're going to deal with family trauma next Sunday. We're going to deal with family therapy next Sunday. You mothers who told your children they're going to be just like their daddy. That's abuse. If their daddy ain't no good, why would you want them to be just like their daddy? Instead of telling them they're following in the same footprints of a no-good individual, whether you the no-good individual or the daddy, why not help and stop them? Want to talk about alcoholism, and then we're going to go off camera so that we can move forward. Alcoholism. If you got to have a drink to help you relax, you're an alcoholic. If you got to have a drink to have a good time, you're an alcoholic. If you got to have a drink to calm your nerves or to get your thoughts together, you're an alcoholic. And the only way to help you is to get you together mentally. Before you go to any AA meeting or NA meeting, mentally, as the brother said, you got to get to the point where you want to be better. For some, it can happen overnight. For others, it takes them to hit rock bottom. I see people all the time say to church, I don't need this type of stuff. I didn't come for this type of stuff. You're the ones they need. Mentally, you're not okay if you don't think you need some form of help. Because guess what? At the end of the day, all of us can use some form of help. All of us can use some form of therapy. And let me tell you, upstairs in the office, I have a master's in theology. I have a bachelor's in biblical studies. I know the word. But can I tell you, there is some things that God and God alone just not going to do. You need to go see professionals. Because if you and God was going to handle it, it wouldn't have never got this far. I know somebody said, I don't have to talk to them after they talk to me. Because I'll show you in the Bible, there were professional individuals that were around when Jesus was around. You don't have to believe me. Get your Bible, go to Mark chapter number 5. There was a woman there who had an issue of blood. When she got to Jesus, she said, I've exhausted everything going to the physician. Which simply means she went to professionals. God allowed professionals to be here. Let me tell you something. If I need a surgery in my body, don't y'all bring no preacher in there. Y'all go get a surgeon and get one quick with an anesthesiologist, because I don't want to feel nothing. God gave us these type of individuals in the land so that we can take care. I told you what the scripture say. But love above all, I wish that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Which means the closer you get with God, the better he wants you to be mentally. came to heal, right? Then he turned those things around. The Bible said that there was a woman who had been bent over for 18 years. Jesus saw that and said, we can't go no further. He made her whole in the flesh. When you take the time, those of you that read your Bibles on the regular, go look at the ministry of Jesus. He never talked to them spiritually without helping them naturally first. If somebody come in here and tell you they hungry, they don't want to hear nothing about you praying for them. They want you to wash your hands, get a napkin, and give them some food. And then you pray for them. Somebody run to the church naked, they don't want to hear that you praying for them. Go in the back of this church and get them some clothes and dress them. Our mental capacity get overloaded. And let me tell you what happened when that, what occurs when that happens. Strokes, heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, aneurysms. Can I keep going? Tumors, ulcers, cancer. These things transpire in our body when mentally we become weighed down and overweight. Can I tell you, you can be free today? Our objective this month is to free you and make you whole. Transition you from a daily just making it by daily to being able to enjoy every day as a victim. God bless you that's watching Facebook and YouTube. We going off here because we going further. Y'all come to the building if y'all want to. Amen. Amen. All right, Brother D, take us on.